Some people don't just live a life, they design one. Diane Keaton did exactly that. She built a world of hats and laughter, awkward pauses, and fearless choices. In a town obsessed with perfection, she made imperfection look poetic. She never chased trends, she set them. She never followed rules, she rewrote them. This is not just the story of an actress. It's the story of a woman who turned individuality into art. The woman who taught Hollywood that strength can wear a smile and vulnerability can wear a hat. This is the story of Diane Keaton, the dreamer, the rebel, the legend. Before the fame, before Annie Hall, before the world knew her name, she was Diane Hall from Los Angeles. Born on January 5, 1946, in a creative household, Diane grew up surrounded by imagination. Her mother, Dorothy, was a homemaker and photographer who encouraged her to dream. Her father, Jack Hall, was a civil engineer who built foundations, both literal and emotional. From her mother, she learned expression. From her father, she learned structure. In high school, Diane wasn't the most confident girl. She was curious, a bit shy, yet magnetic. She watched movies late into the night, Katharine Hepburn, Bette Davis, and all those women who owned the screen. And she whispered to herself, I could do that but my way. When she joined the neighborhood playhouse in New York, the dream became tangible. Stage lights replaced city lights. She learned to project her voice, to find truth inside the lines of a script. But what set her apart wasn't her technique, it was her honesty. Even then, directors said she didn't act like anyone else. She didn't pretend to be real. She was real. In the late 1960s, Diane made her Broadway debut in Hair, a musical that screamed freedom, rebellion, and change. She didn't fit into Hollywood's idea of beauty or behavior, and that's exactly what made her unforgettable. Then came her audition for a play that would change everything. Play it again, Sam. There she met a young comedian named Woody Allen. Together, they created magic. That partnership carried her into films Sleeper, Love and Death, and then Annie Hall. When Annie Hall released in 1977, it wasn't just a movie, it was a cultural shift. Her offbeat charm, nervous laughter, and impeccable timing made audiences fall in love with authenticity. And that outfit, the men's tie, the baggy pants, the vest, wasn't designed by a stylist. It was Diana's own, her real clothes, her real self. She won the Academy Award for Best Actress. But beyond the trophy, she had done something far more significant. She had shown the world that women didn't need to fit into anyone else's mold to be adored. After Annie Hall, the world expected more quirky comedies. But Diane Keaton wasn't interested in repetition. She dove into darker, deeper waters, The Godfather Part 2 and Reds. She balanced chaos with calm, laughter with tears. Her range was astonishing. One moment, she was the woman next door. The next, a revolutionary muse. In Reds, directed by Warren Beatty, she gave one of her rawest performances. It wasn't glamorous, it was human. That's what Diane always brought to the screen, truth. She wasn't afraid of silence, of flaws, of being messy. Audiences saw themselves in her awkwardness, her honesty, her curiosity about life. Off-screen, her fashion became an extension of her art. She refused to dress for the male gaze. Her oversized suits, vintage hats, and monochrome layers were armor and expression. She once said, "Style is attitude. It's saying who you are without saying a word." And for millions of women, she said exactly what they've been longing to hear. Diane Keaton never lived for headlines. She never married, though her romantic life was often in the spotlight. There were famous names, Woody Allen, Al Pacino, Warren Beatty, but for her, love was never about possession. It was about connection. In interviews, she spoke candidly about loneliness, family, and the complexity of love. She adopted 2 children, Dexter and Duke, later in life, calling motherhood her greatest role. She built her home not around fame, but around art, photography, and memories. She once said, "I'm an actress because I want to see what it feels like to be someone else." But being a mother that taught me what it means to be myself. While Hollywood chased youth, Diane embraced age. Her silver hair, her wrinkles, her laughter all became part of her beauty. She wasn't afraid to evolve, to let time write its story across her face. Few actresses have left a mark as wide and deep as Diane Keaton. She made androgyny chic. She made awkwardness powerful. She made individuality timeless. Her influence ripples through generations, from modern fashion icons to young actresses finding their voices. You can see a trace of her in every woman who wears confidence like couture. Her memoirs revealed her reflective side, the artist who questioned fame, family, and mortality. She admitted to fear but never let fear win. Even in her later films, Something's Gotta Give, The Family Stone, Book Club, she radiated authenticity. She turned every role into a conversation between herself and the audience. And through it all, she never stopped being curious. She photographed, directed, produced, restored homes, creating art in every form she could touch. Because for Diane Keaton, art wasn't a career, it was a way to stay alive. As time went on, Diane Keaton continued to appear in public, always in her hats, her smile, her signature wit. Even as health challenges grew, her spirit never dimmed. In her last interview, she spoke about gratitude, about peace, about letting go. She said, "If you can make someone laugh, you've done something eternal." When she passed, Hollywood dimmed its lights. But the glow she left behind still flickers in laughter, in courage, in authenticity. Diane Keaton wasn't just an actress. She was a philosophy. She showed us that you could be glamorous and goofy, elegant and awkward, bold and kind all at once. She taught us that strength isn't loud, sometimes it's a whisper with a hat on. Her legacy isn't written in awards or box office numbers. It's written in the hearts of those who saw her and thought, maybe I can be myself too. Because Diane Keaton's greatest role wasn't Annie Hall, or Kay Corleone, or any character she ever played. It was being Diane Keaton, the woman who made being real the most beautiful performance of all. And if this tribute touched your heart, please like, comment, and subscribe to keep celebrating the timeless icons who shaped our world. Share this story with someone who still believes in authenticity, art, and the courage to be different.